Janel Grant speaks out on a presser today against Vince McMahon and WWE and TKO for the lawsuit that she had allegedly suffered at the hands of Vince McMahon for S trafficking and SA abuse at the hands of her and John Laurinaitis and WWE's alleged attempt to cover it all up. This is a trigger warning. If this is difficult for you, I just want to put that out there. If you want to watch the entire presser interview, it is on our Instagram at Snug Wrestling, and you can click that for more wrestling content, but trigger warning, please. For those of you who don't know, Janel Grant is the woman who was allegedly SA'd and trafficked by Vince McMahon, John Laurinaitis. But when it came down to it, this all stems from the fact that this abuse had allegedly gone on for quite a while. She had tried to end this relationship with Vince many times, even though Vince was married, and even though she was sickened by it, he wouldn't really let her go. It was an immense amount of control, she alleges. But at the end of it, there were NDAs. There was an NDA that was signed that, you know, she had signed so they could make this all go away, and no one would be the wiser. All of a sudden, somehow, a story gets leaked to journalists who then make a story. Her name gets dropped publicly for the first time in 2022. Breaking that NDA, they tried to act as if it was her. They tried to give her whistleblower status and then make her the main victim in an investigation from the SEC and the FBI. At the end of the day, she never wanted to file the lawsuit, she says. She says once this happened, she felt like she had no choice, because then the company tried to allegedly coerce and or push her to put out a joint statement saying that she and Vince had a consensual relationship, which she vehemently denied and said, no, we don't, and I'm not doing that. And then a group of people and a spokesperson from WWE did it anyway without her even consenting to it, stating that they had a consensual relationship. She was even supposed to originally be a part of the original internal investigation on WWE's side into these allegations of Vince. But even though she paid six figures to be a part of this investigation, she was left out of the majority of it, not even being interviewed before the actual investigation had even concluded. She speaks mostly about how the NDAs and how NDAs in a workplace are harmful, because it takes the pain and the struggle of one person and it quietly just drops it on the head of the next employee, because if you can do it with one, you can do it with everybody else. She speaks about how she has friends that she cares about that work in Stamford, Connecticut's WWE office that are under a microscope, that are being intimidated, that are being, afraid for their well-being and their livelihoods of their families, allegedly. And that she's concerned for them, and that there are people who were aware of this who can't talk about it, who can't say anything at the fear and potential alleged cost of losing their livelihoods or their jobs, or their family suffering for it. But this is a very intense situation. She talks about trying to take matters into her own hands and exit this world, and that someone saw her and stopped her, and she's only gone outside 10 times in the last year or so, because she's just that afraid of being out in public. And this is it's just a very, very difficult presser to listen to. But if you want to watch it, is on our Instagram, the full entire thing. But if this is something that's affected you, please know that there are people that you can call, that you can talk to, that you aren't alone, and that, there are circles and people who love you or who will care about what has happened to you, and that you don't have to take it that further final step because you're feeling isolated and like you don't matter, and you do matter. So please, there are numbers to call. Don't go through this alone. You don't have to. Please, until next time, stay safe, stay savage, and stay snug. Fuck WWE and TKO's greed, man. Hi, guys. Mr. Bludd here with an episode of the Bludd Drop on Snug Wrestling. Click that to follow us for more wrestling content. If you're on Instagram, go ahead and follow us over on the channel. But when it comes down to it, guys, I'm not really angry at WWE. I'm angry at TKO because of this ban they're doing on watch parties. If you don't know, WWE has issued that they are banning the watch parties in a 50-mile radius for WrestleMania, and they are putting a blackout on all the businesses in Las Vegas, all the surrounding area, that there are no watch parties allowed to happen. You either watch it at home on your ESPN or a VPN, or you have to pay an arm, a leg, and your second and third child, and half of your fourth and your third, just to go buy tickets to go into the stadium for your fucking family for 2 different nights. Those are the only ways they're going to let you watch WrestleMania, okay? Now they're extending that blackout and that ban to Elimination Chamber just next weekend, okay? Or I believe this weekend. So when it comes down to it, it's greed on top of greed. They are trying to make sure that not a movie theater, unless that they have agreed to let that movie theater play it for a watch party in a select theater, no businesses, no bars, no restaurants, no bar and grills, nothing, no pubs, nothing. There are no watch parties. Now, people are like, well, people have a misconception that, you know, these businesses can just, you know, turn on their Netflix or a VPN and pop it up on the bar on a local VPN network or something, and that's not actually true. In fact, bars actually have to pay a licensing fee just to air that kind of content in their bar. They have to pay a licensing fee for UFC. They've got to pay a licensing fee to have these types of events with big companies like this air in their bar, especially for watch parties where they are advertising a night where they are going to make excess money because of the subject of that one night being this very show or this event that's being televised in their bar. Now, generally speaking, because it might be a big event or something, they basically get a head count ahead of time, and it just brings in a lot of money for the bar. People come in, they sit, they watch. You know, it might be free food or discounted food or this or that, but the show is free because the bar knows they're going to make that money back in all the food and beverages. That watch party is going to make the food and money back on the beverages. But even when you look over at the In the Clutch ENT YouTube channel, for WrestleMania 40, they rented out a movie theater for 2 nights. And then that same movie theater, a couple weeks later, got a cease and desist letter from WWE threatening them to never do it again, or they'd face legal repercussions. So when it comes down to it, this is greed on top of greed. TKO, understand, you are pushing away your customers, you're pushing away your fan base. And at this point, you've already priced out the everyday average fan. Okay, that's already done and over. You've already fucked them. But your ticket sales being down year on year from last year's actual WrestleMania is your fault for returning to the same fucking city. The fact that Las Vegas's touring has gone down significantly in the last year, their tourism, and on top of that, you've hiked the prices from last year. After the lackluster ending to last year's Mania, you thought it'd be a good idea to return to the same city you already scorned once, while charging more. And now you're blacking out the entire city, and you fucked over like WrestleCon that was supposed to be in the original spot you're going to be in, which I think was New Orleans, where you were supposed to be, so you changed to go back to Vegas for a bag. And so now WrestleCon's trapped there. You have all these other people who have already had agreements and contracts signed for these watch parties, for these agreements, for these venues they were going to do this at, and then you pull this out on them last fucking minute, and you think that's going to help you get more business? No. In fact, it's going to show the regular fan base that's watching why they should lose faith in you, and it's going to show newer fans who might have actually been sitting at that bar that night, who are going to maybe get into your actual product, that maybe it's not worth it after all. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Until next time, stay safe, stay savage, and stay snug. But this is... I don't really blame WWE for this. I blame TKO. Their greed, their need to fill the void for the debt that UFC put them in during their merger and before. As far as it's concerned, you have made that the WWE fans' problem, and it almost feels like we're being punished for your bad business decisions. And it's not right.